Good afternoon. I'm Shawn Yao and this is One News Now. Malacanang says all private companies, including tobacco firms, may purchase vaccines but still subject to a tripartite agreement involving the national government. Maricel Halili joins us live from Mandaluyong City for more details. Mase, why is there special mention of tobacco companies specifically? A lot of other private companies are already procuring shots.
Because if you recall, Shawn, recently there's a draft resolution or a regulation from the Department of Health, although this is just a leaked copy, which states that some private companies, particularly tobacco companies, are not allowed to procure vaccines. So of course, some of the private companies are concerned with this draft resolution or draft regulation. But early here this afternoon, Secretary Harry Roque clarified that this implementing rules and regulations, or the IRR, of this specific law has already been amended. It means that all private companies, it doesn't matter where, what industry they belong, will be allowed to enter a tripartite agreement for them to procure vaccines against COVID-19.
All right, good that they made that clear. Now, the private sector's vaccine procurement process does include the national government in tripartite deals. This, of course, provides some security and assurance to parties involved in the deal. And I think other companies, of course, we spoke to a PCCI Chairman Emeritus last week, and he said that they are interested in procuring deals and they wish for the government to give them the permission to just procure it by themselves. Is there any way entering into a tripartite deal could be sidestepped?
Unfortunately, Shawn, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that for now it is not possible for the private sector, even the local government, to procure directly to the vaccine manufacturers. They said that before the vaccine manufacturer allow these private companies to procure vaccines from them, they need to undergo or they need to sign a tripartite agreement, because the indemnification agreement, which is part of the tripartite, is very important to give protection on the vaccine manufacturers. So based on the explanation of the government, it seems that it is a demand coming from the vaccine manufacturers. Now, one of the issues that we clarified earlier is that once a private company entered the tripartite agreement, does it mean that they are required to donate at least 50% of the number of vaccines that they purchased? Well, Secretary Roque said that it is part of the tripartite agreement, particularly the earlier tripartite agreement that they have signed when they purchased AstraZeneca. But they have to clarify whether this tripartite agreement will continue on other brands, and he hopes that vaccine czar Carlito Galvez can clarify these issues.
All right, now thank you for clarifying that issue. I was going to ask you that question, but now I'll just ask you another question, a big one that is on everyone's mind. Is a total lockdown still on the table given the recent surge in COVID-19 cases?
Shawn, if we base it on the explanation of MMDA earlier as well as Malacanang, it seems that for now they are not considering the imposition of total lockdown. MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos said that for now, Metro Manila mayors feel that granular lockdown is effective enough to control the spread of the virus. Based on his earlier statement, so far we have about 91 areas in Metro Manila under granular lockdown, and they feel that it's already enough so that they can balance the business as well as the security for the health condition of the public.
All right, did the spokesman have anything to say about claims that the government cannot or will not declare a total lockdown because it can no longer provide aid or doesn't want to provide aid?
Well, Secretary Roque denied that theory, Shawn. He said earlier that it's not about the aid or the financial assistance to be given by ordinary people. He said that if there's a need to assist financially ordinary workers or even employers, the government is willing to look into several options to give them assistance. But the real reason, well, that's at least according to Secretary Roque, is that they have to balance the opening of the economy and the health condition of the public. And so, in able to balance these two factors, they have to maintain the general community quarantine, even in areas that has, or even in areas that have high number of COVID cases.
All right, another clarification here, Mase. I guess we'll be doing this a lot today. What sort of movements are allowed within the NCR Plus bubble?
All right, it's a bit confusing, Sean, after the release of the IATF Resolution 104 yesterday. But PNP OIC General Eliazar clarified that the 5 areas, Metro Manila, Rizal, Cavite, Laguna, and Bulacan, these 5 areas are included in one big bubble. It means that if the residents of Metro Manila or the residents of other areas that are part of the bubble plan to go to the areas at least within the bubble, they can freely do so, even if they plan to do a staycation. For example, in Laguna, since Laguna is part of the big bubble, they are allowed to do a staycation, provided that they will follow the protocol given by the Department of Tourism. For example, if they have to bring their family member, which is or who is already considered a minor or a senior citizen, they have to check first the protocols given by the tourism department before they can bring them to Laguna, and provided that they will only bring with them the members of their immediate family. So these are just some of the conditions given by the Philippine National Police. Other than that, we can freely move around within the areas included in this big bubble.
All right, the NCR Plus bubble. So, for example, Mase, one last clarification. If you want to just leisurely bike from Metro Manila, pass through Rizal, and end up in Laguna and back to Metro Manila, that should be okay?
That should be okay because it's within the bubble. But if you go out of the boundary, that's another issue, because the Philippine National Police has already established different quarantine checkpoints and the boundaries in these 5 areas. So it will be impossible for you to go out of the boundary if you were not considered an essential worker.
All right, thanks so much for the update and all the clarifications. Maricel Halili reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Let's check in on vaccine stories from around the world. South Africa's health ministry says they have sold unused AstraZeneca vaccines to other African Union member states. This comes after vaccination using AstraZeneca jabs was halted, as trials showed minimal protection against the local variant of the virus. Saudi Arabia and its neighbor, the United Arab Emirates, have expanded their COVID-19 vaccination drives to contain the spread of the virus. Before, only those aged 18 and above, but now people as young as 16 can now receive shots procured from AstraZeneca. And China is considering varied visa policies based on vaccination and virus conditions in different countries. Chinese officials say that they will be monitoring the progress of other nations in coming up with vaccine passports or certificates and other travel measures. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.